All right, bonus podcast for you here. What should we do? Who should we pick up? How much fab should we spend? We welcome you to Fantasy Football Today, presented by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. It's Adam, Heath, and Dave. And Trey Benson is on IR. He's reportedly out 4 to 6 weeks. The next 6 games for Arizona: Tennessee, which is an amazing matchup, the Colts, the Packers, then a bye, Dallas, Seattle, San Francisco. Bucky Irving, meanwhile, he's in a walking boot. We don't have any timeline for him, but
he's either day to day or week to week.
There you go. So that's wonderful. If you look at the running backs, let's say there are 4 of them. Let's say there's Michael Carter and Emari Demercado for Arizona, Rachaad White and Trey and Michael Carter. Sorry, I'm just getting lost here. Rachaad White and Sean Tucker for Tampa Bay. Heath, how would you rank them in terms of your priorities?
As of this moment, and the Bucky Irving situation seems extremely fluid, so we could be one tweet away from feeling different. As of this moment, I would prioritize Rachaad White. And as of this moment, I would put Sean Tucker 4th. I'm hoping that Dave's going to say something super sharp that gives me a stronger lean on Michael Carter versus Emari Demercado. We basically had 2 games in 2023 before Michael Carter was on the team where Emari Demercado was used as a feature back. We had 2 games in 2024 when James Conner, Trey Benson, and Emari Demercado were all hurt, where Michael Carter was used as a feature back. Great matchup, not great running backs. Probably right now, I would lean Demercado in full PPR leagues.
Okay, Dave, same question to you. How would you rank the 4?
Rachaad White belongs at the top. Let's get some things out there on the Cardinals running backs before we commit to Michael Carter being second on the list. Because I listen, we don't know exactly how they feel about Carter and Demercado in Arizona, but the track record of what they've done with these running backs is pretty obvious. And it makes me lean toward Carter over Demercado. If I may have a couple of minutes to have the floor, Professor Azer.
Minutes?
Wow.
Okay, go ahead.
Do we have
Dave's
minutes?
Going to talk longer than these guys have played the last 3 years.
I might. We already have seen this year that the Cardinals like to use.
Just before you do this, real quick, can you tell me Sean Tucker or a Cardinals running back?
I think I'm going to end up taking a Cardinals running back.
Okay, go for it.
So I agree with Heath's Tampa sandwich. We've already seen this year, Arizona likes to use 2 running backs. Lack of a better term, running downs guy, passing downs guy. Week 1, I've got the same problem you've got, Adam. Week 1, James Conner, 64% snap share. Trey Benson, 34%. Benson dominated on 3rd down. Week 4, Benson, 55% of the snaps. Demercado played 39%, dominated on 3rd downs, even had some snaps inside the 10. Michael Carter barely played in the game. Okay, so we know that both of these guys are going to play. It's a matter of who gets that first crack and who is that running downs guy. Demercado, over the last 2 seasons, has barely been that guy for Arizona. There was a game, I got to bring this up. Give me 1 second. There was a game in 2023. Conner got hurt early. Demercado had 44 snaps. He ended up scoring in that game. It was a modest fantasy game. But the very next week, his playing time went down. And he only had 33 snaps to Keontae Ingram's 26 snaps. Both of them stunk. The very next week, Demercado played more because I think Ingram got hurt. They had Damian Williams as their running back. It was a disaster. Nobody did well in that game. I think Demercado might have had 10 PPR points. And then the same thing happened the week after that. Ingram came back. Demercado led the way. He didn't do very well. He had 21 touches. He didn't even have 80 total yards. Didn't score a touchdown. Without Demercado in week 17 and 18, I think he talked about this. Conner got hurt early. Carter played well. Week 18, there was no Conner, there was no Demercado, and Michael Carter played well. So if they had Carter in those 2023 games, I think that he would have played ahead of Demercado. All this is just a roundabout way of saying that Carter, I'm guessing, is going to be their running downs guy, and Demercado, who's been their passing downs guy before and really has never been given the chance to be a feature back, is going to be their passing downs back. And that's how they'll split it up against Tennessee. And the only reason why it's important is because this Titans run defense is absolutely terrible. They're bottom 5 in defensive total rush EPA, bottom 3 in explosive rush rate allowed. They've allowed 5 yards per carry. They've allowed 6 touchdowns to running backs in 4 games.
The only thing I will count.
We kind of want to nail this one. I would say I would lean toward Carter over Demercado.
The only thing I would say is the Arizona rush offense is also terrible. They played the Saints in week 1, and James Conner ran 12 times for 39 yards.
Mm-hmm.
They played the Panthers, the poster boy for bad run defense, in week 2. James Conner ran 11 times for 34 yards. They have 1 rushing touchdown on the season. They have, and I think that's the thing that you kind of have to speculate with these moving parts, is how efficient do you think Michael Carter will be? Because I think he will likely handle some of the first and second down rush attempts. The less efficient he is, the more long third downs they have, the more opportunities Emari Demercado has. And then the other thing is there a 2-minute drill at the end of the first half? Is there a 2-minute drill at the end of the second half? Because that will be all Demercado.
Here's how, yeah. You could talk about the Tennessee matchup, but I think most people should be approaching this from a 4 to 6 weeks perspective, not just, you don't have to pick these guys up and start them, but obviously we have bye weeks for the next 2 months. So let's, So
yeah, looking at that, like against the Colts at Indianapolis, I would expect to rank Demercado higher. Against the Packers, who they can't run on, I would expect to rank Demercado higher.
That's fair.
Let me the thing is that the guy who's not necessarily in on the passing downs still gets a lot of targets. That's why I'm kind of into this backfield for fantasy purposes. Not so much because I don't really believe in. That's why I was into Benson, right? I mean, I felt like he was going to catch his passes. Benson's already got 13 catches in 4 games. He's only been a lead back once, 1.5 times. So
they're averaging 16.5 rush attempts for running backs this year, 7 targets per game for the running backs.
How many of the targets per game have come on third down?
I don't have that number.
All right. You want it?
All right. So let me just tell you how I approached it. You guys can tell me what you think. Rachaad White's easy number 1, but he's rostered in all my leagues, so didn't have a chance to get him. I still have a few leagues that haven't run fab yet. I've changed my fab bids. Originally, it was Sean Tucker, $3 or so. Michael Carter, $3 or so. I've boosted them both up big. I don't necessarily want to tell you guys because I'm in all these leagues with you.
I'm not probably giving more than $3 for Sean Tucker. So
I am. So I am going kind of in the Slayton area for both of these guys.
That's double digits.
That's 20-ish, I'll just say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to be aggressive here. I'm finding that almost all of the handcuffs in my leagues are rostered.
That's not going to be the case as much after this week.
Because of buys and stuff?
People like I saw Calvin Ridley get dropped this morning. I saw
but
guys are getting dropped.
Are you seeing Tyler Algier get dropped? I'm saying I don't know how many opportunities we're going to get throughout the year to pick up starting running backs. So that's why I'm trying to get Carter here. I originally had Tucker for more than Carter. And if you told me that Irving and Benson had the same timetable, I would go with Tucker over Carter. But I don't know that. And I do know we've got a 4 to 6 week window here for the Cardinals running back. I'm betting on Carter. I am realizing this could be a stupid waste of money. But I'm going to take a shot on it here because I think he'll get 3 or 4 catches. They'll average about 3 catches a game and get most of the work. I really don't think they're moving Demercado off of the third down role.
I agree. Heath, I've got your numbers for you. And this is to Adam's point. 6 targets to running backs on third down in Arizona the entire year. 10 on first down, 12 on second down. And Michael Carter can catch. I remember his profile.
Well, they've had a lot more first and second downs than third downs, so that makes sense.
Well, obviously, right. But even 10 on first down, 12 on second down, and then third down, just 6. Seemed a little off, but yeah.
Maybe Michael Carter is going to play the highest snap share an Arizona running back has this year. I am pretty skeptical of that.
Well, okay, right. So let's say he just does the same thing that Benson and Connor have done. You are talking about, let's take away week 3 when Connor got hurt. Benson scored 10.4 PPR fantasy points in week 4. It's not great, but he only had 8 carries because they were losing. Connor scored 14.4 and 12.2. So I'll just throw out 12 PPR fantasy points per game. That's the average, essentially, of those 3 games. Can we get that from Carter? Do you expect that? And if you got 12, how much would that be worth to you in Fab?
I think 12 this week is possible because the matchup's so bad. I don't think I don't think that running back talent just doesn't matter at all. And I think there's a pretty big gap between James Conner, Trey Benson, and Michael Carter.
Where's Demercado on that list?
I don't know that we've seen, he's pretty much where Michael Carter is to me. I don't know that the distinction between Michael Carter and Emari Demercado matters. But so 12 against the Titans, sure. 12 against the Cowboys or the Packers or the Colts, probably not.
Okay, so you're pretty much out on these guys, I think. In Fab leagues, it looks like people are going to be more aggressive than you.
You are. I've not talked to anybody else who's going to spend over 20% of their budget on him.
Yeah, maybe not, but I do think most people are going to go more than 3%.
No, I was saying I wouldn't go more than 3% on Tucker.
Oh, on Tucker. Okay, how much would you go on Carter or Demercado?
I think you should be somewhere. I think double digits could make sense if you have a need at running back.
Right.
But like you said, Adam, it could very easily be a waste.
It could be 100%. Yeah, you have to wonder, what am I saving my Fab for? I happen to have a lot of Fab in these leagues. I'm not in the 60s. I'm in the high 80s maybe in Fab dollars, so I happen to have a lot left. Mm-hmm. What am I saving it for? I don't know that moment's ever going to come. Emmanuel Wilson would have been someone like there are some handcuffs that are out there that if they got their chance, you'd go for it. But a lot of the high end ones are already rostered. Maybe that changes throughout the year. I don't know.
I just do think it's a good thing to remember. Like Todd Bowles said day to day on Bucky Irving. Other reports have been week to week. He's using crutches and in a walking boot, which I think is smart if you're trying to recover from a foot injury, but could signal something worse. It could be with Sean Tucker that we're paying for 1 week as the number 2 running back in this offense.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. That's the question, right? What do you expect the split to be while Bucky Irving's out? And then we'll finish with that.
60-40 White.
If not more. I mean, he's a lock to play in passing downs. Think about that offensive line and the shape that it's in. They need a good pass protector back there for Baker. And that's Rachaad White to a T. And for what it's worth, White started the season looking pretty good.
He's run the ball better than Bucky Irving has.
Right. Yeah. The last 2 weeks, neither of them have looked good, specifically running the ball.
I think Rachaad White's looked good for about half a season. Some point in the second half of last year, he just started running the ball better. So kudos to him. All right. I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I wish we had more of a timeline on Bucky Irving. We do not, but we do have the Benson news. So good luck. I will tell you this. Oh, go ahead, Heath. Yeah.
No, the last thing that's really, really important is we've still got 12 hours before a lot of Fab is going to run. We've definitely got hopefully 8 hours before anybody's going to bed. Keep refreshing for news from beat writers. I think their speculation in Arizona, those beat writers on what the touch split's going to be, might be the most valuable thing we get in the next 8 hours. Keep refreshing for news on Bucky Irving, in terms of the week to week versus day to day stuff. Don't lock in your Fab at 2 p.m. Eastern and forget about it.
Right? Yeah. What is this app? I use the Bleacher Nation fantasy app, and they'll just send you notifications with a ton of news. Could flood your phone, but you'll find out when the tweets come in. I dropped Pacheco for Michael Carter in a league. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for. Thank you. I think his role is more valuable than Pacheco's.
I'm certainly going to be cheering for an Isaiah Pacheco breakout game against Jacksonville.
Buddy, I got plenty of Pacheco left. Okay, there's only one league I did that in. Thank you very much for watching and listening, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow on Fantasy Football Today.